So game 6 here is perhaps the most interesting game of the match, and I would like to hear people think about this because there's a lot of decisions based on Swamp Hag in this game. On the board you see immediately there's an Engine Bazaar, Hunting Grounds, Swamp Hag is your payload if you want, there's Horde also if you like. You get Alchemists because it gives you reliability, and there's Plus Buy and Horse Traders and Nomad Camp. Ball is on the board, but it isn't that good. You can't really get that many things with Ball. You might buy it once and be content with that. But this is the idea for the deck here. Big Engine playing Swamp Hag every turn or so. So here, with 4, I open Nomad Camp. I figure if I hit 4 with Nomad Camp, well, then I just pick up the potion. If I hit 5, then I can get a ball and pick up the potion anyway. With horse traders, silver, something like that. Also getting 5 means I have a lot more options. I can go Bazaar, I can go Mystic, I can go Swamp Hag right off the bat. My opponent goes straight for the potion opening. Here, with my 5, I do want the potion as soon as possible, so I'm going to buy the ball to pick it up. On this ball I'll get a potion and a silver. I want quite a bit of money in my deck because I want to eventually hit cards like Hunting Ground, so maybe 3 silvers will let me do that. My opponent opens silver potion, I open Nomad Camp ball. Here I have 3 and pick up another silver, just again trying to get up to that 6 coin mark for the Hunting Grounds eventually here. So I pick up my silver, I have 6 here. My opponent has 5 and is able to pick up a Swamp Hog immediately there. So that was the first 5. My opponent went for a Swamp Hog and I'm going to respond with a Swamp Hog of my own here. So now we start to see some interesting decisions once these cards come out. So here my opponent only has 2 potion and misses Alchemist. My potion misses the shuffle, so they're not too far behind, but not being able to get an Alchemist at all is bad. So here my opponent plays the Swamp Hag and is able to get an Alchemist. Now here on 5 I would have bought a Bazaar here. Instead I opt for a ball and I take 2 Vagrants, which may not be the best thing, but I did not want to buy the Bazaar and gain the curse. The deck isn't going to be so reliable with these 7 coppers and 3 estates in it, and I didn't want to put any more junk cards in it, so that's why I stayed away from these piles once Swamp Hag was in play. So with my Swamp Hag in play here, my opponent doesn't do anything except plays a Swamp Hag, and this is what I think is a critical turn here. Here, this is an excellent amount of money for me with 2 buys. Easily an Alchemist and a Bazaar. However, due to my hesitation and reluctance to go through this Swamp Hag attack, I opt for a ball instead. And even this ball, I pick up 2 Vagrants with it, which again, like I said before, is probably not the best thing to do with ball. Maybe a couple horse traders would have been okay. At least it would provide some compensation for the Swamp Hog. I'm not sure how much though, because I find horse traders is a strange defense to Swamp Hog. It gives you the card, which is fine, but it also gives you money that you really don't want to spend on cards, which is a bit strange. So my opponent comes up with 9 here and picks up a Hunting Grounds. So at this point they have Bazaar and Hunting Grounds, and I have none of them. I have a deck full of Vagrants, and it is as bad as it sounds. So here on 3, I don't want anything. I have enough money to buy what I want. I don't want more Vagrants in my deck. Vagrants should not be in my deck. They should be on the streets. Anyways, my opponent lines up Bazaar, Hunting Grounds, slams the Swamp Hag down, picks up another Alchemist. So this is another turn here where I do not want to buy any card. The only event is Ball. I managed to get my Swamp Hog down with 6. Again, this is Hunting Grounds in a heartbeat ordinarily, but I'm staying away from the curses. I don't want to clog up my deck unnecessarily. Here my opponent buys a ball and gets a couple horse traders, which seems fine. Finally here I'm free from the Swamp Hag's grip with a decent amount of money. Pick up a Bazaar. My opponent gets this massive turn in, goes for Alchemist and Bazaar. Reasonable, no Swamp Hag impeding my opponent. I get an Alchemist here. Once the Swamp Hag isn't out, I get Alchemist. My opponent picks up a second Swamp Hag, so screws are starting to tighten at this point. My Swamp Hag prompts a Horse Trader's reaction from my opponent, and again, on 5 here, where I would have bought a Bazaar, instead I buy a ball, picking up a second potion, just to try to add some stability to my deck that way, consistently be able to line up my Alchemist with a potion. Here, my opponent goes through the Swamp Hag. This time I picks up an Alchemist and a Bazaar, and honestly it seems alright for them to do that given the cards that they have in their deck at this point. So for me here, I pick up a Bazaar and a second Swamp Hag on 10, and here my opponent draws quite a bit of cards, coming up with 10, and with no Swamp Hag in play is easily double Bazaar. So you hit these price points and you know exactly what to do. You hit 5, you buy a Bazaar. You hit 6, you buy Hunting Ground. You hit 11 on 2 buys. Bazaar Hunting Grounds is no big deal. But with the Swamp Hag in play, you have to think twice, and maybe 3 times. So my opponent continues to build up draw here, Alchemist and Hunting Grounds for them. I play my deck full of Vagrants here. This time, there's no Swamp Hag bearing down on me, so I'm able to get an Alchemist. And on 4 here, I pick up another Horse Traders. I have too many Horse Traders, I know, but what else am I gonna buy? I guess I could buy another potion or a silver, but I opt for the Horse Traders. At least it'll trigger. As it does here, my opponent on 6 picks up a Bazaar, I believe. These Vagrants played. I get my Swamp Hag down as often as I could. Here on 5 and a potion. Again, you see me go for the ball here. Picking up a third potion. Again, just trying to sustain this Alchemist mini stack that I have here. And here I believe this is the big turn for my opponent where they draw the entire deck with 2 curses in it even. Couple Hunting Grounds and a pile of Alchemists. What is that? 5 Alchemists. And now the lock is real. Triple Province here for my opponent. No big deal going through my Swamp Hag there. I say the lock is real, meaning that my opponent probably can play a Swamp Hag every turn at this point. So here I pick up a ball and gain 2 estates. I could have picked up a province. I don't know why I didn't pick up a province, but I did that to avoid the curses again. So here, Swamp Hag again. And my opponent now is just going through my Swamp Hag attacks like it's no big deal, picking up an Alchemist there. They have sufficient draw to draw most of their deck, so I guess it's fine for them to do. Here, 11 potion, I only pick up 1 province. I don't want to pick up the Alchemist, I don't want to pick up the curse. So these are the decisions that I made with regard to the Swamp Hags. Here you see another brilliant turn for my opponent, 2 short of triple province. This is easily province duchy or province hunting grounds. Not a big deal what my opponent decides to do at this point. Goes for province bazaar. The one good thing that has been happening for me here is that my potions have been behaving very nicely. They haven't been pairing up at all. Here I just play some horse traders to maximize the amount of money I'd have. But 12 and a potion, I pick up the province. I have to pick it up to have some chance, if at all there's any chance for me to buy any province, because I noticed that my opponent didn't manage to find their potion on that $22 hand, so they will be stuttering for quite some time. So maybe I could get somewhere with duchies and get close, maybe, not sure. As of right now, 2 piles are gone, the Alchemist and the Vagrant, and you'll see here, very nice pile out by my opponent, just picking up a curse And with the Swamp Hag in play means that they gain another curse to close out the game. So that is a win for my opponent. I would love to hear feedback for this game. Thanks for watching the match.